we're going to go over the different kinds of hooks and baits here in Euro fishing. Let's do that. Let's get a little better view here. Let's go to the tackle box, as I do have all the different hooks. So we'll go on here, and as you can see, all the hooks are sorted from size 4 to size 12. If you are not a fisherman, here's what you need to know. Size 4 is the larger size hook. Size 12 is the smallest. It's very important if you're trying to catch a whopper and you think, hey, number 12 has got to be the biggest. You'd be wrong. You're just going to catch small fish that way. So what you want to do is, kind of coordinate between the sizes. Like I said, 4 is the biggest, and as the numbers increase, the size of the hook decreases. Just keep that in mind. So let's go over the different kinds of hooks that we do have. First here is Blowback Rig. This is for gravel bed type. Can be used with pop-up or bottom bait. You want to try and pair your hooks with a bait that is either bottom or pop-up. The different hooks have different styles. You want to try and match that with your bait, which I will go over here in a few moments as well. Next up is the Chod. This is for weed types. You want a pop-up or floating bait with this. Reason being, you won't put it up over the weeds. If it's down on the bottom, fish are unlikely to see it through there. Next is the braided hair rig. That is a silt type. You want to use a bottom bait with this as well. And if you forget any of this, it's not a problem. It is over in the descriptions. Just take a look at them before you go ahead. And the stiff rig is gravel and a floating bait you want to use with that. Now, most of these are size 12 you probably won't use, or you won't use very long. That's alright, so we'll pop up here. This is another blowback. The DF rig. Okay. This is a gravel one. Probably one of your main gravel ones. This is more of a bottom type. Mostly boilie and corn. A very good one to have in your arsenal. And we got the Chod again, and the IQD. This is for silt. Now this is for the bottom type. There's two different types of, well actually now there's 3, I'm sorry. They changed some of the classifications. Some of these rigs used to be for all types. They're no longer that way. This is more your main one. This is for bottom baits on silt. And the KD is for your pop-up or float type of bait. Different presentations. And this is also for silt as well. And we got the DF, Chod, KD, Q, and blowback. I'm just going through. I believe that is all of the different sizes or different types of hooks. Just remember, it's most important thing when choosing a hook is you get the size for the fish you're looking for, and also the type of bed that you want to fish over, and the proper presentation of the bait. You want to pair that up with a bait as well. So while we're at that, let's go here and we will head over to the bait section. And I believe I have all of our baits as well. Yes, I do. Let's go take a look while we're waiting. Okay, now let's take a look at the baits. We're going to start up here in the coarse branch. There's only a few baits over here, which is fine. Let's pull this down so we can see better. Alright, the Active 8 pop-up 15mm. Now these are really good carp baits as well. You can catch catfish on it as well. These are good. The 15 millimeters the size. Now you want to try and pair up, like I said, the hooks with the bait size. For this, I would probably go with either a size 6 or size 8 hook. It's somewhere kind of in between there, but 6 or 8, either one should work. Make sure that they have a kind of float pop-up type presentation. As you see over there on the left, it says presentation. That's important to remember that when you're choosing baits and hooks. Next up is the Quarter 18 millimeter dumbbell, and now this is a bottom presentation. I found this to be very good for catching the Wells catfish. 6 and 4 for this, for that bait. Large double sweet corn. This has been the go-to bait. You can pretty much put this on any hook I found. This may have changed, but it pretty much pairs with just about everything, and is very effective. Float, bottom, whichever way you want to go. It's very versatile that way. Same thing, small double sweet corn. You're just going to catch a few smaller, quarter sweet corn we cover, dumbbell, 8 millimeter. This, pair these up with smaller hooks. And there's a 12 millimeter size. So let's see, 15 is about 6 or 8. 12 is probably 8 or 10, size 8 or 10 hook. This is like 10 or 12. This is the smallest. Now this is the Activate 15 millimeter, but this is a sink. This is a bottom type. So there are different types of the same bait. There are sinkers and pop-up float type baits. 18 millimeter here. Now the 18 millimeter will of course be 6 or 4 hook. The high vis pop-up. This is a good one. I like to use this nighttime even, or if it's raining I'll break it out. It all depends where you're at. You have to be aware of your surroundings when you're fishing. The flavor on this is another thing to keep in mind. With the boss logs, they do give different types of things that the fish favor. If they favor something sweet, this would be probably your go-to bait with that, as this is like a pineapple flavor. The Activate obviously are 8 different types of ingredients in it. I think it's more of a fishy type taste. So if you see that in your fishing log or angler's log and you're looking up different boss fish to target, that would pair up nicely with that. Now we have the Tigernuts. These are really good baits. This is a sink bottom presentation. Mostly carp go after these, but you will catch quite a few large catfish with this as well. 15 millimeter again is between 6 and 8, something like that size hook. I think you can get away with it on a 6. And here's a 20 millimeter version, size 4 hook for that. Also, just remember size of fish you're looking for. You want to pair bait and hooks to match that. Now up here we have basically your tiny fish gear. We have all the hooks. Now let's go white bread flakes, toasted white bread, small sweet corn single, medium, and large. Basically if you're roach hunting or tench, that's pretty much what you want to use those for. I don't really see much of a point in going into detail with these. Most of you are going to be looking for bigger fish, obviously. But if it comes to it, these work pretty well. Again, the sweet corns are really good bait for everything as well. Then we'll come down here into the last section here. We got bread crust again. Not something you're probably going to want. Medium sweet corn double. We got a pop-up sweet corn. All these corns have different presentations too. We got a pop-up 8mm dumbbell. You know, pair that with a size 12 hook that does a float presentation or pop-up, and you'll be good to go. Pop-up 12mm, so you know, size 10 or so. Even okay, 18 and mini dumbbell pop-up 10mm. This one is a little bit different. I'm not really quite sure how to fish that one. I haven't had too much luck. You know, the size really limits what you can catch on that anyway. So you can put it in, it's fine. And then we have pop-up Tigernut 15mm version and a 20mm version. These are good. I like to fish these over the weeds. The pop-up Tigernuts. It's really good bait for there, I have found. I try and think of it this way as, you know, if they were to fall off of a tree, most likely be towards the bank. That's usually where I try and fish them, is towards the bank, especially weeds, stuff like that. So that's it for the different baits. We will continue our tutorial session here in a few moments. Thank you. Hello.